In America, most people start falling apart after 65. That means decades of pills, procedures, and losing your independence piece by piece, struggling to get out of chairs, avoiding stairs, and needing help with simple tasks that used to be effortless. The statistics are heartbreaking. By age 75, 1 in 3 Americans will have fallen. By 80, many can't lift their arms overhead. By 85, simple tasks like getting dressed become monumental challenges. But in Japan, they've got over 95,000 people aged 100 and older who are still walking to the market, gardening, climbing stairs, and living independently. Some are still working part-time jobs. Others are teaching traditional crafts to their great-grandchildren. So what's their secret? It's not superior genetics. Studies show genetics only account for about 25% of longevity. It's not expensive supplements or cutting-edge medical treatments. And it's definitely not some complex fitness program that requires a personal trainer and perfect form. Since 1928, Japan has had a nationwide morning routine called Radio Taiso, 6 simple movements practiced by everyone from school children to centenarians. No equipment, no gym membership, no complicated sequences to memorize. Just 5 minutes a day that adds decades of strength, balance, and confidence. And here's what makes this different from every other exercise program you've tried. These movements were specifically designed for people who thought they couldn't exercise anymore. In Japan, they do these in nursing homes, with people in wheelchairs, and with 90-year-olds who haven't exercised in decades. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., millions of Japanese people gather in parks, workplaces, and homes to do these exact movements together. It's broadcast on national radio and television. Construction workers do it before starting their shift. Office employees do it during breaks. Grandmothers do it in their living rooms while their tea steeps. If you're worried you're too out of shape, too stiff, too old, or too broken to start, that's exactly who this was made for. In this guide, I'll break down those 6 exact movements, step by step show you how to do them safely, at any fitness level address, every concern you might have, and most importantly, show you how they help you age stronger, not slower. Before we dive in, drop your name and age in the comments. I'd love to hear where you're starting from, and don't worry, there's no judgment here, only support. Whether you're 52 and dealing with your first major health scare, or 78 and determined not to lose any more independence, you're in the right place. Important safety note: listen to your body first. Before we start, let's address the elephant in the room. You might be worried about your arthritis, your bad back, your blood pressure medication, your recent knee replacement, or the fact that you haven't exercised since the Bush administration, the first one. Here's the truth: those concerns are valid and smart. Always check with your doctor before starting any new movement program, especially if you have heart conditions, take blood pressure medications, have balance issues, osteoporosis, diabetes, or any recent surgeries. But here's what I want you to know. These movements are so gentle that Japanese nursing homes use them for residents with walkers, wheelchairs, and multiple chronic conditions. They're designed to work with your limitations, not against them. Japanese physical therapists actually prescribe these movements for people recovering from strokes, heart attacks, and major surgeries. If you're scared of falling, do every movement next to a wall or sturdy chair. No exceptions. In Japan, even healthy 90-year-olds keep one hand near support during balance exercises. If you have arthritis, start with smaller ranges of motion and never push through sharp pain. Movement often helps arthritis by keeping joints lubricated, but we're going for gentle motion, not stretching contests. If you haven't exercised in years, you're not behind. You're exactly where thousands of people start this journey every day. Your body remembers how to move. It just needs a gentle reminder. If you take medications, these gentle movements shouldn't interfere with most medications, but always check with your pharmacist or doctor about exercise interactions. If you're dealing with chronic pain, many people find that gentle, consistent movement actually reduces their daily pain levels over time. But start small and listen to your body. Let's begin slowly, safely, and with great care for where you are right now. Movement 1. Overhead arm circles, the shoulder awakener. Let's start with something that seems almost too simple to work, but here's the sobering truth. In our modern world, most people over 50 can go entire days without raising their arms above their ears. Think about it. When did you last reach overhead for something? When did you last hang something high up or stretch to put something on a top shelf? If you're like most Americans, it's been weeks or even months. That's a problem, a big one. Because when you don't use your shoulder mobility, you lose it fast. And losing it means losing independence in ways you never imagined. Meet Sarah from Michigan, age 64. I couldn't reach the top shelf in my kitchen without wincing. I couldn't wash my own hair properly. I needed my husband to help me get sweaters over my head. After 3 weeks of these simple arm circles, I was hanging Christmas lights again. My husband couldn't believe it, and honestly, neither could I. Here's how to do it, safely and gradually. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, right next to a wall or sturdy chair for balance. Place one hand lightly on your support if needed. Now, slowly raise both arms straight up overhead while breathing in. But here's the key. Only go as high as feels comfortable today. If you can only lift them to shoulder height today, that's perfect. If arthritis lets you lift them to chest level, that's your starting point. If you can go all the way overhead without pain, wonderful. There's no competition here, only gentle progress. Now bring them down in a wide circular motion to your sides while breathing out. Feel that gentle stretch across your chest as your arms open wide. If you have shoulder arthritis or frozen shoulder, just lift your arms to whatever height feels good. Even lifting to chest level engages the muscles we're trying to wake up. Some days you might reach higher, some days lower, both are fine. If you can't stand for long periods, sit in a sturdy chair with arms and do the same motion. You'll get 90% of the benefits, and there's no shame in starting seated. If you get dizzy easily, move extra slowly and take breaks between movements. Never hold your breath. Keep breathing naturally throughout. Why does this matter more than you might think? Because shoulder mobility is your independence indicator. When you can't reach overhead anymore, you can't put dishes away, change light bulbs, get clothes from high shelves, or even get dressed easily. You start needing help with basic daily tasks, and that's when the slow slide toward dependence begins. This movement also improves your posture by opening up the front of your chest and reminding your shoulders where they're supposed to sit, back and down, not rolled forward from years of computer work and driving. Start with just 5 circles each direction. That's it. If your shoulders feel tight, achy, or even a little sore the next day, that's normal. You're waking up muscles that have been asleep for years. But if you feel sharp pain during the movement, stop and consult your doctor. Real talk. You might feel silly doing this at first. Your inner critic might say, "This is too simple to work," or "People will think I look ridiculous." Do it anyway. Your future independence is worth 30 seconds of feeling awkward. Japanese wisdom. In Japan, they say, small steps, long journey. This simple movement, done consistently, can be the difference between reaching for things confidently in your 80s or needing help with basic tasks. Next up, we're going to target the part of your spine that determines whether you move like someone 20 years younger or 20 years older. And I'll show you exactly how to do it, even if your back isn't what it used to be. Movement 2. Side bends, the spine liberator. If movement 1 opened up your shoulders, this next one is about freeing your spine from the prison of poor posture and decades of sitting. Most people over 50 have lost the ability to bend sideways. Not because they physically can't, but because they never do. Your spine is designed to move in 3 directions, forward and back, side to side, and rotation. But modern life has us using only one direction, forward, leaning over computers, phones, steering wheels. When you lose side-to-side movement, you lose the ability to reach across your body, to lean over to pick something up from beside you, or even to sleep comfortably on your side without stiffness. Here's what Margaret from Texas, age 72, told me. I was so stiff I couldn't look over my shoulder to back out of my driveway safely. I couldn't reach across the passenger seat to grab my purse. These side bends changed everything. My chiropractor asked what I'd been doing differently because my spine was moving better than it had in years. Another story from James, age 66. I couldn't bend to tie my shoes without my back screaming at me. After a month of these gentle bends, I realized I was moving around the house like a normal person again instead of like a robot. Here's how to do it, even with back problems. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, with one hand resting on a chair back or touching a wall for balance. This isn't about proving you do not need support. This is about moving safely so you can keep moving for decades to come. Place your free hand on your hip and slowly, reach your supported arm up and gently bend to the opposite side. We're talking about the speed of molasses here. Think of it like you're reaching over a small fence, not trying to touch the ground. Stop immediately if you feel any sharp pain. We're looking for a gentle stretch along your side, like a gentle awakening, not a deep bend that proves anything to anyone. Feel that stretch along your side? That's decades of tightness starting to release. That's your body remembering it can move in directions it forgot about. If you have lower back issues, herniated discs, or sciatica, only bend as far as feels completely comfortable. Even a tiny movement counts. Some days that might be barely an inch, other days it might be more. Your body will tell you what it can handle today. If standing is difficult, sit in a sturdy chair and do the same gentle side reach. Your spine doesn't care if you're sitting or standing. Movement is movement. If you have osteoporosis, be extra gentle and avoid any forced stretching. Small, controlled movements are not only safe, but beneficial for bone health. Why does this matter for your daily life? Your spine has to move in 3 directions to stay healthy and pain-free. When you can only move forward and back, you end up compensating with other parts of your body, leading to hip pain, knee problems, and that overall stiff as a board feeling that makes you feel older than your years. This movement restores the side-to-side flexibility you need for reaching across your body, getting in and out of cars comfortably, sleeping without stiffness, and just feeling fluid and human again instead of mechanical. Start with just 3 gentle bends to each side, holding each one for just 2 seconds. If you can only bend an inch today, that's your perfect starting point. No judgment, only progress. Tomorrow you might bend slightly further, or you might not. Both outcomes are perfectly fine. Common worry. What if my neighbors see me doing these weird movements? Here's the thing. You can do this inside by a window, in your bedroom, or in your backyard. And remember, your neighbors are probably dealing with their own aches and pains. They'll likely be jealous that you're actually doing something proactive about yours. The mindset shift. Instead of thinking, I can't bend very far, try thinking, my body is starting to remember how to move sideways again. Language matters, especially the language you use with yourself. Once your spine starts moving again, and it will, even if progress feels slow, it's time to add the movement pattern that separates fluid movers from rigid ones. Movement number 3. Gentle twists, the rotation restorer. This is where we separate the truly mobile from the stuck-in-concrete crowd. Spinal rotation is typically the first movement pattern most people lose as they age, and it's often the last thing they get back. But Japanese elders maintain this rotational mobility well into their 90s with this simple twist, and here's why that matters more than you might think. When you lose the ability to rotate your spine, everyday activities become awkward and potentially dangerous. You can't look over your shoulder while driving safely. You can't reach behind you for your seatbelt. You can't turn to talk to someone sitting next to you without moving your entire body like a robot. Frank from Ohio, age 69. I couldn't turn to see my grandson in the back seat without my whole back seizing up. My wife started doing all the driving because I couldn't check blind spots safely. Now I can actually turn my head and shoulders like a normal person again. Last week, I drove us to our grandson's baseball game. First time in 2 years, I felt confident behind the wheel. Here's how to do it, protecting your back and building confidence. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, with one hand touching a wall or resting on a chair back. This support isn't a sign of weakness. It's smart movement that keeps you safe while you rebuild mobility. Keep your hips facing forward. This is absolutely crucial for spine safety. And slowly turn just your upper body to the right, letting your free arm follow naturally. Your feet stay planted like they're glued to the floor. Only your torso moves, and you never ever force the movement. Think of it like you're slowly turning to look at something interesting on the shelf behind you, not like you're trying to see your own back. If you have spinal arthritis, disc problems, or have had back surgery, start with movements so small they barely register. Even turning your torso a few inches engages the muscles we're trying to wake up. Progress is measured in degrees, not dramatic improvements. If you get dizzy easily or have inner ear problems, move extra slowly and keep your eyes focused on something stable. Take breaks between sides if needed. If you have neck problems, let your head follow your body naturally, but don't force your neck to turn if it doesn't want to. Why does this matter for your independence? Because rotational movement is how you reach for your seatbelt, look over your shoulder while driving, turn to talk to someone behind you, or reach into the back seat of your car. When you lose this ability, simple daily tasks become awkward, uncomfortable movements that make you feel old and stiff. More importantly, people who maintain spinal rotation have significantly lower rates of back pain and much better balance as they age. Your spine is designed to rotate. When it doesn't, other parts of your body compensate in ways that create pain and instability. Start with just 2 gentle twists to each side. Hold each position for just 1 second, then return to center slowly and controlled. You're not trying to see behind you. You're just introducing your spine to movement it may have forgotten. You might think, this is so small, it can't possibly help. That's your all-or-nothing thinking talking. In Japan, they understand that small, consistent movements create profound changes over time. They call it kaizen, continuous small improvements that compound into remarkable results. The patience factor. This movement might feel awkward or limited at first. That's completely normal. Your spine is rediscovering movement patterns it hasn't used in years. Be patient with your body. It's doing exactly what it should be doing. Now that your spine is starting to wake up in all directions, let's address the movement that determines whether you age with grace or start looking like gravity is winning the battle. Movement 4. Forward and back stretches, the posture reset. Here's where we tackle the biggest aging giveaway of all. That forward head, rounded shoulder posture that makes people look 20 years older than they are and feel even worse than they look. You know the posture I'm talking about. Head jutting forward, shoulders rounded, upper back curved in a way that makes even tall people look shorter and confident people look defeated. It's not just about appearance. This posture pattern creates a cascade of physical problems that affect everything from breathing to digestion to energy levels. Linda from Florida, age 61. My daughter gently mentioned that I was starting to look hunched over like my mother did in her later years. That comment was a wake-up call. These simple stretches helped me remember what it felt like to stand tall again. I feel more confident just walking into a room now. People have started commenting that I seem more energetic, more positive. It's amazing how much posture affects how others see you and how you see yourself. Dr. Patricia, age 58. As a retired nurse, I knew posture was important, but I didn't realize how much mine had deteriorated until I started these movements. My chronic headaches reduced dramatically, and I can breathe more deeply. I actually feel taller, and my measurements confirm I've gained almost an inch in height just from better posture. Here's how to do it, safely and with great care for your limitations. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, both hands placed gently on your lower back for support. This hand placement is crucial. It supports your lower back and reminds you not to overextend. Very carefully and slowly, arch backward just a tiny amount. We're talking inches, not yoga class flexibility. Think of it like you're gently looking up at a tall building, not trying to see the sky directly overhead. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then return to neutral standing position. Rest for a moment, then keeping a soft bend in your knees, place your hands on your thighs and gently fold forward just until you feel a mild stretch in your hamstrings or lower back. Don't try to touch your toes or impress anyone. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, skip the backward arch entirely and focus only on gentle forward movement. Forward flexion is generally safer for fragile bones when done slowly and controlled. If you have balance issues or vertigo, do this movement sitting in a chair. Sit tall. Gently arch your upper back while supporting yourself with your hands, then lean forward slightly from your hips. If you have high blood pressure, move extra slowly and never hold your breath. If you feel dizzy during any part of this movement, stop immediately and sit down. If you have had recent back surgery or disc problems, consult your physical therapist before attempting any backward movement. Forward folds should be minimal and pain-free. Why does this movement matter more than almost any other? Your spine has natural curves that sitting, driving, computer work, and smartphone use have slowly flattened out over decades. This movement helps restore those healthy curves, which improves your breathing capacity by opening up your chest, reduces chronic back pain by decompressing your spine, makes you look instantly taller and more confident, improves digestion by reducing compression in your abdomen, increases energy levels by improving oxygen flow. When Japanese researchers studied centenarians, they found that those who maintained good posture were significantly more likely to live independently and report higher quality of life scores. Do just 2 to 3 gentle movements in each direction. Think mobility, not flexibility. We're not trying to be gymnasts or prove anything to anyone. We're simply reminding your spine how to move in directions it's forgotten. Real concern. What if I hurt myself? That's exactly why we start so incredibly small. Your body will tell you what it can handle, and we're listening to it carefully, not overriding its signals. If something doesn't feel right, stop. There's always tomorrow to try again. The compound effect. This movement might seem simple, but it's working on multiple systems at once. Your muscles, joints, breathing, circulation, and even your confidence. That's why such a small movement can have such noticeable effects on how you feel overall. Ready for something that will surprise you with how much it improves your daily life? This next movement addresses your biggest unspoken fear and could literally prevent a life-changing fall. Movement number 5. Marching in place, the balance builder. Here's the movement that addresses the fear you might not want to admit you have. Falling. If you're over 60, the statistics are sobering. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in seniors. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in an emergency room for a fall-related injury. Every 19 minutes, an older adult dies from a fall. But here's what the statistics don't tell you. Most falls are preventable with better balance, and balance can be improved at any age with the right kind of practice. Japanese elders maintain remarkable balance well into their 100s, partly because of this simple practice, and the research backs up what they've known for decades. Bob from Arizona, age 66. I was getting unsteady on my feet, especially on uneven ground like hiking trails, or even just walking across a parking lot. My wife was constantly worried about me, always reaching out to steady me. After doing this marching thing for a month, I feel solid on my feet again. I'm not scared of stairs anymore, and last weekend I actually went on a gentle hike with my grandkids, something I hadn't done in 2 years. Helen from Vermont, age 73. I fell twice in 6 months, once in my kitchen, once getting out of the car. I wasn't seriously hurt, but I was terrified it would happen again. My daughter wanted me to move to assisted living. This balance practice gave me my confidence back. It's been 8 months since my last fall, and I feel steady and sure of myself again. Here's how to do it, with maximum safety and gradual progression. Start by standing right next to a wall or sturdy chair, and I mean right next to it, where you can grab it instantly if needed. This isn't a crutch. It's smart safety that allows you to challenge your balance without risking injury. Begin by simply shifting your weight from your right foot to your left foot, getting comfortable with the feeling of having your weight mostly on one leg. When that feels steady, try lifting your right knee just a few inches off the ground. Doesn't have to be high, just off the ground. Place it down gently and lift your left knee. As you get more comfortable, you can add a gentle arm swing, right knee up, left arm forward, like a very slow, controlled march. If your balance is poor or you've fallen recently, keep one hand on the wall the entire time for the first few weeks. There's no shame in this. You're building strength and confidence simultaneously. If lifting your knee is difficult or painful, just shift your weight from foot to foot in an exaggerated manner. This is still balance training and will strengthen the small muscles that keep you stable. If you're afraid you'll fall, you won't, because you're holding on to something stable. But more importantly, you're actually reducing your fall risk by training the exact systems that prevent falls. If you have arthritis in your knees or hips, start with weight shifts only and progress to knee lifts only when and if it feels comfortable. Why does this matter more than you might realize? This movement is simultaneously training 3 critical systems that work together to keep you upright. Your vestibular system, inner ear balance, helps your brain know where your body is in space. Your proprioception, body awareness, tells your brain where your feet and legs are positioned. Your core stability keeps your torso stable while your legs move. When these 3 systems work together efficiently, you don't fall. When they're weak or uncoordinated, you become unsteady, tentative, and at risk. The beauty of this exercise is that it trains all 3 systems simultaneously in a functional way, meaning you're practicing the exact movement patterns you use when walking, climbing stairs, or stepping over objects. Start with just 10 total steps, 5 per leg, moving slowly and focusing on control rather than speed. As you feel more confident, and you will, you can lift your knees higher, march for longer periods, or even try closing your eyes for 2 to 3 steps to further challenge your balance. Your inner critic might say, "This looks ridiculous. I feel like I'm marching in place like a toddler." Your future self, who confidently walks on uneven surfaces and doesn't worry about falling, will thank you for looking ridiculous for 30 seconds a day. The confidence factor. What's remarkable about this exercise is how quickly it can restore confidence in your own stability. Many people notice improved steadiness within the first week, which creates a positive feedback loop. Feeling more stable makes you move more confidently, which makes you actually more stable. Japanese insight. In Japan, they understand that balance is not something you either have or don't have. It's a skill that can be practiced and improved. Even their 90-year-olds practice balance exercises daily, not because they're unstable, but because they want to stay stable. For our final movement, we're going to open up the part of your body that controls how you breathe, stand, and present yourself to the world. And this one might just make you feel 20 years younger in a matter of weeks. Movement number 6. Chest opening stretches. The Confidence Awakener. This last movement might look the simplest of all, but it has the power to transform not just how you move, but how you feel about yourself, how others perceive you, and even how well you sleep at night. Most people over 50 live in what therapists call a collapsed chest position. Shoulders rolled forward, head jutting out, chest caved in, breathing shallow and restricted. This isn't just about appearance, though the visual impact is significant. This posture pattern affects your mood, energy levels, confidence, and even your digestive health. Dorothy from New York, age 58. I didn't realize how hunched over I'd become until I started doing this simple movement. I was looking at photos from my daughter's wedding and was shocked at how small and defeated I looked. Now, just 3 months later, people tell me I look taller, more confident, more vibrant. My own daughter said I seem happier and more energetic. It's amazing how much just opening up my chest has changed how I feel about myself. Richard from Colorado, age 64. I had chronic tension in my neck and shoulders from years of desk work. This chest-opening movement, combined with deeper breathing, has reduced my tension headaches by probably 80%. My physical therapist was amazed at how much my posture had improved. I sleep better too, probably because I'm breathing better. Here's how to do it, gently and with attention to your body's needs. Stand with your feet comfortable apart, near a wall for balance if needed. If standing is uncomfortable, this works just as well sitting in a sturdy chair with good back support. Stretch your arms out to your sides at whatever height feels comfortable. Doesn't have to be shoulder height. If shoulder problems limit your range, hold your arms wherever feels good, even if that's just slightly away from your body. Feel that opening across your chest? That's decades of forward posture starting to release. Now bring your arms together in front of you in a gentle hug motion. Then open them wide again, like you're embracing the world. If you have frozen shoulder or shoulder arthritis, only move as far as feels comfortable. Even small movements help, and some days your range might be different than others. That's normal and expected. If you get tired standing, sit in a chair and do the same arm opening motion. The benefits are identical whether you're sitting or standing. If you have breathing problems like COPD or asthma, this movement can actually help by opening up your chest cavity, but start very gently and never push yourself to breathe more deeply than feels natural. Why does this movement matter for your overall well-being? An open chest posture does something remarkable. It sends a signal to your brain that you're safe, confident, and in control. This isn't just psychological, it's physiological. Research shows that open chest postures increase testosterone, confidence hormone, and decrease cortisol, stress hormone, improve breathing capacity and oxygen uptake, reduce chronic pain in the neck, shoulders, and upper back, improve mood, and reduce symptoms of depression, make you appear more confident and approachable to others. Improve sleep quality by reducing tension. When you stand taller and breathe better, you literally feel better about yourself and your place in the world. Do just 5 to 6 opening and closing motions, coordinating them with your breathing. Inhale as you open your arms wide. Exhale as you bring them together. This breathing coordination amplifies the benefits by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system responsible for rest, recovery, and healing. The surprising secondary benefits. Many people report improvements they didn't expect from this simple movement. Better digestion, less compression in the abdomen, improved voice quality, better breath support, and even better balance, improved core awareness from breathing properly. The social impact. When you improve your posture, other people respond to you differently. You're perceived as more confident, more capable, more energetic. This creates a positive feedback loop that actually makes you feel more confident and energetic. Addressing your biggest concerns and fears. Now that you've learned all 6 movements, let's address the concerns that might be holding you back from starting. These are real fears with real solutions. What if I have arthritis in multiple joints and can't do several of these movements? Start with just the movements that feel manageable today. Even doing 2 out of 6 movements consistently is infinitely better than doing 0. Many people with arthritis actually report reduced stiffness and pain after several weeks of gentle, consistent movement. Your arthritis might improve with activity, but we're going slowly to find out what works for your body. What if I have not exercised in 20 years and I'm worried I'll hurt myself? Perfect. That means you get to experience the biggest improvements. The beauty of these movements is that they're self-limiting. You can only do what your body allows today, and that's exactly the right amount. Start with 2 to 3 movements and add 1 more each week. There's no rush, no deadline, no competition with anyone, including your younger self. What if my family thinks this is weird or a waste of time? Tell them it's evidence-based movement therapy from Japan for fall prevention and arthritis management. Or do it in private. Your health is more important than their opinions. Often, family members become supportive when they see actual improvements in your mobility and energy. What if I can't do them perfectly or right? Perfect doesn't exist. Japanese 90-year-olds don't do these perfectly either. They do them consistently, and that's what creates the benefits. Your version of each movement is the right version for your body today. When will I actually notice a difference in how I feel? Most people report feeling looser after the first week, notice better balance and less stiffness after 2 weeks, and feel genuinely stronger and more confident after a month. But everyone is different. Some people feel better after 3 days, others take 6 weeks to notice changes. The key is consistency, not speed. What if I have multiple health conditions, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease? These gentle movements are generally safe for most conditions, but definitely check with your healthcare provider first. Many people with chronic conditions find that gentle, consistent movement actually helps them manage their conditions better by improving circulation, reducing stress, and enhancing overall function. What if I've had joint replacements or surgeries? Modified versions of these movements are often part of post-surgical rehabilitation programs. The key is starting very gently and progressing slowly. Your physical therapist can help you determine appropriate modifications for your specific surgical history. What if I fall during the balance exercise? You won't fall because you're keeping one hand on a stable support throughout the exercise. That's not cheating. That's smart movement that builds confidence while improving balance. Even Japanese centenarians keep support nearby during balance practice. Putting it all together. Your gentle, realistic daily routine. You've just learned the 6 movements that have kept Japanese elders strong and independent for nearly 100 years. But here's the key. You don't need to do them all perfectly from day 1, and you don't need to do them all every single day. Week 1, getting started, 2 minutes total. Choose the 2 movements that felt most comfortable and least intimidating. Do them once each morning, holding on to something for balance when needed. Focus purely on showing up and moving gently, not on perfection or progress. Celebrate the fact that you're doing something 95% of people your age won't do. Week 2, building confidence, 3 minutes total. Add 1 more movement to your routine. Start to notice which movements feel easier or more natural. Pay attention to any improvements in daily activities. Getting out of chairs, reaching for things, walking more confidently. Celebrate small wins, like lifting your arms slightly higher or balancing for an extra second. Week 3, finding your rhythm, 4 minutes total. Add 1-2 more movements depending on how you're feeling. Begin to create a sequence that feels natural and enjoyable. Notice improvements in daily activities. Less stiffness in the morning, better posture while watching TV, more confidence on stairs. Week 4 plus, your full routine, 5 minutes total. All 6 movements in a flowing sequence that feels comfortable. Focus on smooth, gentle transitions between movements. Feel genuinely proud that you've created a sustainable health habit. The realistic daily schedule that busy people actually stick with. Morning energizer, 2 minutes. Arm circles while your coffee brews, 30 seconds. Side bends while you check the weather forecast, 30 seconds. Gentle twists while you scan the morning headlines, 1 minute. Evening reset, 3 minutes. Forward back stretches during TV commercials, 30 seconds. Balance practice while dinner is in the oven, 1 minute. Chest opening. Stretches before you settle in for the evening, 90 seconds. The flexibility factor. Bad weather? Do them inside. Feeling tired? Do just 3 movements. Having a great day? Do the full routine twice. The program adapts to your life, not the other way around. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Missing a day doesn't ruin anything. Just start again tomorrow. Missing a week doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. What you can realistically expect, week by week. Week 1. You might feel a little silly, but also pleased that you're actually doing something proactive for your health. Some movements will feel awkward. That's completely normal. You're asking your body to move in ways it hasn't moved in years. Week 2. You'll start to notice the movements feeling more natural and less foreign. You might catch yourself standing a little taller or feeling less stiff when you get out of bed in the morning. Week 3. Friends or family might comment that you seem to be moving better or standing taller. Getting out of chairs and cars becomes slightly easier. You might notice you're not holding onto railings as tightly when going upstairs. Month 2. You'll realize you're not thinking about balance as much when walking on uneven surfaces. Your shoulders might stop aching from sleeping in awkward positions. You might feel more confident navigating parking lots or walking on slightly uneven ground. Month 3. You'll feel genuinely proud of yourself for sticking with something this long. This routine will feel as natural as brushing your teeth. People might start asking what you've been doing differently because you seem more energetic or confident. Month 6. You'll realize you're moving through life with less fear and more confidence. Tasks that used to make you hesitate, reaching for high shelves, walking on slightly uneven ground, getting up from low chairs, become automatic again. The big picture transformation: you're not training to become an athlete. You're training to live independently, confidently, and comfortably in your own body for as long as possible. You're investing in your future self's quality of life. The science behind why this works for real people like you. Let me share the research that backs up what Japanese elders have known for decades. Balance and fall prevention. Studies show that simple balance training reduces fall risk by up to 40% in adults over 65. Just 15 minutes of balance practice per week can significantly improve stability and confidence. People who practice balance exercises report feeling more secure and confident in their daily activities, spinal health, and mobility. Research from Japan demonstrates that people who maintain spinal mobility through their 70s and 80s have 60% less chronic back pain. Daily gentle movement can slow age-related disc degeneration. Improved posture is directly linked to better breathing, digestion, and energy levels, shoulder and upper body function. Maintaining overhead reach is one of the strongest predictors of independent living in older adults. Regular shoulder mobility exercises can prevent or reverse frozen shoulder in up to 80% of cases. Improved posture reduces headaches and neck pain by up to 70%. Breathing and longevity. Better breathing capacity is directly correlated with longevity and quality of life. Chest opening exercises improve oxygen uptake and reduce stress hormones. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting healing and recovery. Community and consistency. Group exercise programs have higher adherence rates and better outcomes than individual programs. Social connection around movement provides mental health benefits beyond the physical exercise. Daily routines create structure and purpose, which are linked to healthy aging. But here's what the studies don't capture: the confidence that comes from knowing your body works better today than it did last month. The pride in being proactive about your health. The relief of having something simple that actually helps instead of just managing symptoms. Why this works when other programs failed. You've probably tried other exercise programs, fitness classes, or physical therapy routines that didn't stick. That's not your fault. Most programs are designed without understanding the real barriers people over 50 face. It's only 5 minutes. You literally cannot talk yourself out of 5 minutes. Even on your worst days, you can find 5 minutes. No equipment needed. See ain't use. I do not have the right equipment, or I can't afford a gym membership as reasons to avoid it. No driving required. No excuses about weather, transportation, or not wanting to be seen exercising in public. Designed for limitations, arthritis, balance issues, chronic pain, medication side effects. This program works around your limitations, not against them. Proven by time. Nearly 100 years of Japanese people doing this successfully provides confidence that it actually works. Scalable to your day. Bad day? Do 2 movements. Good day? Do all 6. Busy day? Do them during commercial breaks. No judgment. You're doing this in the privacy of your own home, at your own pace, with no one watching or critiquing your form. Your action plan. Start scared, Start small, but start. If you've made it this far, you're already different from the majority of people who will read this and do nothing. That's not criticism of them. It's recognition that you're someone who takes action when you learn something valuable. Your gentle, confidence-building action plan. Today, right now. Pick just one movement that seemed least scary or most appealing. Do it once, slowly and carefully. That's it. You just started. Tomorrow, do that same movement again. Notice if it feels any different. Easier, more familiar, less awkward. Day 3 to 7. Add one more movement. Now you're doing 2 movements daily. You're now officially exercising more consistently than 80% of people your age. Week 2. Add a 3rd movement when you feel ready. There's no rush. Some people add it on day 8. Others wait until day 14. Listen to your body and your confidence level. Week 3. Keep building gradually until you have all 6 movements in your routine. Month 2. Focus on making the routine feel natural, enjoyable, and sustainable rather than just mechanical. Your personal success tracker? Can you balance slightly better during the marching? Can you turn your head a bit further during twists? Can you reach slightly higher during arm circles? These small improvements are your body getting functionally younger, not older. The compound effect. Each small improvement builds on the others. Better balance makes you more confident. Better posture makes you feel more energetic. Better mobility reduces pain. Less pain improves sleep. Better sleep improves everything else. Final reality check. You really can do this. Look, I know you might be scared. Scared of falling, scared of pain, scared of starting something new at this stage of life, scared of failing again like other programs you've tried, scared that your body is too far gone to improve. All of those fears are normal, understandable, and valid. But here's what's actually scarier. Doing nothing and watching your body continue to decline year after year. Losing a little more independence each month. Becoming more fearful, more tentative, more dependent on others for basic tasks. Japanese elders understand something we've forgotten. Movement is medicine, but it doesn't have to be intense medicine. It can be gentle, gradual, kind to your body, and respectful of your limitations. You don't need to be brave. You just need to be curious enough to try one small movement today. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to start where you are with what you have. You don't need to transform overnight. You just need to be 1% better tomorrow than you are today. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to move gently and consistently for your own future well-being. Call to action. Join the gentle revolution. Drop a comment below with your first name and age, the one movement you're going to try first. One specific thing you hope will improve in your daily life, reaching higher, feeling steadier, less back pain, more confidence, etc. I read every single comment, and I'll be selecting people to receive a free printable guide with large print instructions, common modifications for various health conditions, and a simple tracking sheet to monitor your progress. But here's what I really want you to do right now. Don't overthink this. Don't wait until Monday. Do not wait until you feel ready, or until you buy special clothes or clear your schedule. Stand up right now. Do 3 gentle arm circles. Notice how that feels in your shoulders, your back, your breathing. That's it. You just started. Your independence, your confidence, your energy levels, and your quality of life for the next 20+ years all begin with tiny actions like that one. The question isn't whether you're ready. The question is whether you're willing to be 1% better tomorrow than you are today. Will you be like most people who learn something valuable and then do nothing? Or will you be like the Japanese elders who understand that small, consistent actions create extraordinary results over time? The choice is yours. But remember, doing something imperfectly is infinitely better than doing nothing perfectly. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Start scared if you need to. Start small if you must. But start. Because your body is worth 5 minutes a day, and your independence is worth everything.